It's Batman time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the Mafex Batman Hush Catwoman. Batman Hush is one of my favorite comic books of all time and by far the best comic book storyline in Batman history. My opinion. If you have yours, let me know in the comments. But regardless of that, I had to pick this one up because I'm just such a big fan of Hush. Obviously, it does have a special place in my heart. Even though I gotta be honest, this is probably not the most interesting design for Catwoman. Also not my favorite one. That would be the purple costume. That was pretty good. But anyway, I want to complete the Hush line as much as I can and I get the figures that I care about. So let's have a look at Catwoman. Meow! This figure stands at about 15 centimeters to the top of her head, or like the cat ears. That means we are going up to a little under 6 inches tall. Size comparisons. Here's Jolter, NECA Michelangelo, Mafex Batman, Mafex Hush, and Darkseid. Overall look in detail of the figure. Now I'm kind of torn on this because on one hand I can say, yeah, well, it's just like a lot of black plastic. Well, it's painted, that's one thing. But there's not really that much going on design-wise. And I can't really fault them for that because this is the design of Batman Hush. So as such, I'm just going to accept it at that and see how well they did in bringing this comic book figure to life. And I think they did a really good job, actually. So first and foremost, you got the head sculpt with the goggles. She has like the see-through plastic, and you do see the eyes in there, and the plastic kind of like stretches it just a little bit. It looks a little bit goofy, but hey, I mean, that's what goggles do. The paint on it is good for the most part. They have some small, very small issues over there on the edges, but you know, I just like look at how far. This is my finger. This is how far I'm zoomed in on it, so you will barely notice it. I feel like the skin tone also it looks kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like they apply like a heavy tone of it, like to cover up for the black. And you know, again, it's clean. Same for the red lips, which I do really enjoy the red on there. It has like a nice fiery red on it. And then you got the bandana that kind of, well, not bandana, the thing that holds the goggles on the head, which again is nicely painted. You got the cat ears with some lines in the costume, which that's one thing I wish they would have done, would have added a little bit more, well, not seam lines, because obviously that's just like the one in the middle and the one in the back and whatnot, but a little bit of wrinkles, just a tiny bit, just to do that extra thing. Because in the comic book there is some hints of that, but you know, it just, considering how basic it is, I would have liked to have that. Now, one thing that I'm really happy with, you have the metal ring over there, which actually is a real metal ring, which is attached to the neck, which is pretty cool. Fairly thin arms and long legs, but it is a lot of fan service. That's why I've always also been a big fan of the Jim Lee art style. Yes, it is fan service. If you can't handle it, then get out. Then you got the belt buckle over here, which is nice and shiny in some silver. But what is that? Did they do too much paint over there? You can clearly tell that on the top part there's like a line that doesn't seem alright. Alright, I guess we have some QC issues. On a Mafex figure? No way, I'm not even surprised. You got some nice muscle work also in the back, and you do have a, you know, a butt. Damn boy, she thick! I'm just gonna say that. Then you got the gloves with the cat claws also in there. The hands are very nicely molded. And there are actually also some wrinkles on there, but also there's a little bit of a different color from the gloves and the rest of the body. As you can tell, everything is a lot more shiny because it's supposed to be leather, and then the gloves you have like a lot more of a matte finish. And that goes on for all of the costume, all of the body, also for the boots, same thing. But yeah, long legs, actually very, very thick. Gotta appreciate that. Going down to the boots, which again have the matte finish as I just said, with some more belt buckles on there, which they also have like the dual tone. So I guess that's intentional. It just looks kind of weird on top over here. It seems like they added too much paint. But on the lower half, yeah, it seems like just a two-tone kind of thing going on. And it looked like actually very nice. It's a nice attention to detail. I didn't even notice that before, but now with all the lining and stuff, that's something that will pop out. And you do have the rest of the boots with some gray on there. So yeah, I mean, overall it is simple, but damn, what is there looks freaking good. I feel like what's really important here is Poseability, because there's nothing really hindering the body, and as such it should really perform well, and I feel like it does. You got the head sculpt, moves back and forth, does tilt side to side quite a bit, and does move all the way around. Also, you do have some neck articulation on the lower half if you're pushing that to the side. It's not great, but it does get some wiggling around. It does add a little bit. if I can get it into place. Well, hold on kind of to the ring, I guess, then you can move it back and forth. And side to side, not really that much, and does also rotate all the way around. For your shoulder articulation, let me move on with that. It's pegged into the chest area with a ball, and you do have kind of like a ball hinge that goes into another smaller ball, and you have this nice kind of plastic piece that covers it all up and does make it look nice. It does move back and forth nicely, does move up and down, and obviously you do have the hinge where it moves. Then you got the bicep swivel, double hinged elbow goes up. Not all the way, but has a good enough angle, I feel like. Then the hand is on another ball hinge, goes up and down, rotates. There's no swivels in the gloves or the boots, which I find kind of weird, but I mean, it's not super necessary. The chest articulation is very nice, kind of, especially considering the big boobage is not really hindering it. And it doesn't really leave any gaps, so I like that. Also tilt side to side a little bit, and it doesn't really rotate around due to the, that's more to the boobage, like really kind of holding that back, but still it does move back and forth very nicely. The lower hip part is about the same stuff, and if you combine these two, you get a nice back arch. And forward, it's a little bit limited. I think that's more of the belt buckle over here, which can't really take that off because then it's not the figure anymore, right? Then it's not the design anymore. The beautiful kick to the front, to the side, and also lower half to the back, while it's kind of blocked by the butt. Can also rotate it over here, and I mean the entire piece also goes side to side pretty much all the way around. Then you have the double hinge knees, and the boot again does not swivel, and the foot has another ball hinge in there, but you can also rotate this one since it's just like pegged into the boot, so you can rotate it around on the ball itself. And then the lower half, and also a little bit of a pivot, but you can, even if you adjust the ball, you can get a little bit more out of it. And you do have a toe hinge, which doesn't really accomplish much because it's once again blocked by the belt buckle. For the accessories, if you know Mafex, it's a lot of basic stuff, but again, I'm not trying to badmouth them. There you got some hands. I like these neat little handles to hold them on there. You got some open scratchy hands, and then these kind of booby grab hands, as we call them. More like scratchy. There's the other one, kind of fell off, but they're there. Then you have two pointy fingers, which are really long fingers. And then these two holding hands, which still have the thumb kind of out, just a little bit. And of course you also have two fist hands. You have two different heads, one with the goggles up, which I really like. I enjoy this one, it looks clean, looks good. Really captures the Jim Lee art style, and then one angry face one with the gritting teeth. Again, I love the red and white and the clean paint on it. I really appreciate it. You got a different torso piece for when she has the whip kind of wrapped around. Yeah, you got like a little bit of a DC TM in there, but still it looks good. And I enjoy the idea of adding those. So instead of just kind of make a whip and having to wrap it around, that would have been an issue. Then you have the whip, which is just like kind of brownish, grayish plastic. And the way they did this one, it's kind of weird because they cut it up on different articulation points, so you can rotate it around and you can get it into poses. Instead of just like, I don't know, make a wire in it. That's like my preferred type of doing it, and also this one's kind of stuck sometimes, but I mean, I guess you can pose the whip with it, and it does accomplish something. Oh yeah, there also is the Mafex base, which is kind of big and clunky. This claw is just way too kind of weird, too big for this figure, and then you have the arm, and then you have the base on there, which again just takes up way too much space. So I'm not really a fan of it, but you do get it. Final thoughts, and while this might be a little bit of an awkward pose, I did this on purpose just to see how flexible she really is. She doesn't really bend over all the way, but you do get some decent crouching pose. And overall, I mean, like, the articulation is great, but then again, there's nothing really hindering it. Guys, I said it and I say it again, I'm kind of on the fence about this figure because, like, it's so simple, and, you know, Mafex figures, they're really expensive, and really this is just like a basic body, put a head on it, and make some nice boobage and whatnot. But still, I can't really argue with the fact that this is 100% comic book accurate, and, you know, you could have done wrinkles. And that's really all I can think of as far as what they could have added to this package. Otherwise, like, accessories, it's very basic again, but that's like Mafex, and same thing. I can't really think of anything that I need with this one. Like, maybe a different face or whatever, but, like, it doesn't feel incomplete. So as such, I will recommend this one overall, even though it is a very simplistic release, but it does get the job done of really bringing the Catwoman Hush to life in figure form. So that's gonna do it. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Catwoman wants.